Hello there, and welcome to another Bad Batch live stream, chat, and SWTOR play around with Banshila and Toombs from, of course.
Everybody.
So, another exciting episode of Bad Batch. We're going to jump in, play some SWTOR, and just chat about tonight's episode. We're here on the new daily area in SWTOR. Haven't played this one a lot, so we're just going to sort of muck around, get a little bit done. And just chat while we're having some fun in SWTOR, just exploring one of the newer areas in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Quite a good little standalone episode this evening. So we'll explore the detail on the plot a little bit, but not a lot of strong connections to the overarching story. But I'm sure we'll find something to chat about. And there's Ruhnuk is the newest daily area in Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's one we've only done a few times on these specific characters, so we don't have the map fully memorized. It's a slightly more tricky one in terms of just navigating around the map compared to some. Doesn't quite, to be honest, from certainly my point of view, it may change over time. Doesn't quite flow as well as some of them, but we'll see how we go, and we just use that as a background to chat about Bad Batch.
Yep, so I guess we'll just head out and just clear our path as we slowly make our way around the map.
Lock off a few objectives as we come across them and move to whatever's closest as we go. Yep. So we'll jump a little bit between talking about Bad Batch and talking about something game objectives. We just try and coordinate something semi-logical. Episode of Bad Batch, as I say, standalone episode that began in Sid's parlor on Old Mantell. Fee is the new pirate / adventurer explorer that they're interacting with. She's a local, or at least a regular in Sid's parlor. We've been introduced to her briefly before. It's voiced by Wanda Sykes, but this is the first time she's strongly involved in the plot.
Yeah, it was fun. I was waiting to see when she'd sort of jump in and be a little bit more central to the plot.
Yeah. So a bit of a basic setup on the whole. Mysterious object has been discovered in the junkyard by Omega, and he identifies it as a compass that may lead to treasure. Nothing too astounding about that plot device, but I thought it was just a fun little straightforward episode, almost a Dungeons and Dragons adventure, dungeon crawl type thing with traps and beasts and mazes to get to an ultimate treasure. A few bits of Indiana Jones vibes in there.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. There's a moment where Omega's like got her hands up as they're about to sort of get the treasure that very much reminded me of that opening Raiders of the Lost Ark scene. They got to switch the idols.
And they talk about the fact that this has been built by ancient entities long before the time of the Republic, and that's a classic trope in many ways of
I think we've both clicked
this sort of adventure. Oh yeah, it was. But it was fun the way it panned out.
Yeah.
Good to see the whole crew back together again. Wanda Sykes' character Fee is a very straightforward character, but serves as a useful way to just explore outside the basic conflict of the Bad Batch and the Empire at this moment, do something different. It kind of reminded me in some ways of some of the old school Star Wars novels like Splinter of the Mind's Eye and the Lando Calrissian Adventures, where you kind of have Star Wars characters that you're familiar with just going out there and doing random non-Star Wars stuff, not necessarily interacting with the Empire or other known adversaries. And that's kind of just a lightweight bit of fluff every now and then. It's fun to break things up.
Yeah. And to be honest, we don't really know if it's actually going to have a connection further.
No. Activities individually. We're still working out a lot of these in-game objectives on this daily area.
Yeah. I got my map on permanently.
All right. He's got a fun little droid.
Yeah. I was so worried about him.
It's a little Power Droid, Gonk Droid variant. He's got standard Gonk Droid feet and Gonk Droid type personality, but he's cylindrical, sort of like a 40-gallon barrel sort of thing. The other thing that, I mean, that's the essence of it. There wasn't a lot of other characters introduced. We do see Bolo Vetch, the Wiki, and a very cool Ithorian wearing his vintage action figure style blue one-piece jumpsuit, which it's fun that they're recurring characters. We've seen them many times right from the get-go. And fun little coincidence pertaining to the voices of those characters. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, so the two characters was it Bolo and Ketch, are voiced by two members of Critical Role, which we hadn't actually noticed before. So that's kind of fun to see.
We've just personally been getting into campaign 3 of Critical Role, not up to the actual current live streams. We've been catching up with some of the back episodes. A little bit established before we got too deep into campaign 3, but yeah, Liam O'Brien and Sam Riegel playing Bolo and Ketch have been doing so since the start. Fun that they actually play characters that interact with each other in many ways. They're both known for doing a good few Star Wars background characters in
games like this
and a few other games,
and Jedi Fallen Order, the more sort of recent prominent.
But really fun seeing them playing characters that interact very specifically and on an ongoing basis.
Yeah. So I am curious to see where this whole season will go. Which episode was this? We're up to like 4 or 5.
Oh, I don't say 5. Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't really gotten too much into a specific.
No, we know that Rampart's still around. We've got a very superficial hints about what he's doing, and where the clones are at. In the but it was very superficial. Yeah, and at the moment, Bad Batch don't seem to have a cohesive strategy or direction. They're really just doing what they can to survive and make a bit of money and gather up resources without a lot of specific direction that's been revealed to us so far. It's fair to say. Got a bit of a feeling about where to go at this point.
I'm just going to wander and see. There's some binoculars, there's some bits and pieces down here. Yep. So I'm just going to go do the binocular one. I really like the textures and the map layout on this one, like in terms of just different environments, even if it is a little bit of a maze to navigate around. I'm sure we'll figure it out. We haven't had the experience yet to commit it to memory.
Just about every other daily area in the Old Republic, including even Manan, which is still pretty fresh in terms of when it was released. Yep. There's usually a reasonable pattern that can be followed, a logical pattern that minimizes travel. We just got to get into the groove for that.
Yep. Hi David, great to see you in chat again. He says, "Hi guys, that was very Indiana Jones like." Yes.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And whether or not it connects to a larger story, I thought it was kind of fun. I always like when sort of contemporary, sort of like, connected to the prequel original trilogy era films, reference sort of old era stuff, like not necessarily having to directly reference the Old Republic, like this era that we're playing here, but just sort of referencing, ancient things, we don't specifically know, too much about this particular find that they unearthed. There's obviously legends about it because Fee knows about it, knows how sought after this would be, but it's
No, not so much in the movies we've seen, but there has always been a bit of an overarching and expanded universe in games like this. This notion of pre-existing intelligent races with technologically advanced, often leaving behind apparatus or materials that may be of use thousands of years later. And yeah, there's a bit of definitely a struggle of that in this one. Whether or not it's going to crop up again or tie into anything else, far from clear. But yeah, it's always fun to sort of think about the deep time in styles a little bit.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing that's right behind a tree. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame because I want them to sort of have a bit of a win. Obviously, they make reference to the fact that their previous treasure hunting did not go to plan. I assume they're talking about the Count Dooku's war chest.
Yeah.
That they were trying to pilfer a little bit for themselves and were unable to. I sort of feel like they'll have a bit more independence if they can oh, I'm going the wrong way. They can actually make a bit of money because they're skilled. Oh, this thing keeps jumping.
What's that? The scanning?
Yeah, I go down this way and then it's jumping.
There's two in this region. I don't know if they're the same quest. Also,
or did I just be completely over it so I didn't
coded
notice?
signal.
Okay. Ah, there it is. Are you near close by?
Close enough now.
I think it's interesting that we still see Hunter being sort of nervous and protective of Omega. He doesn't say a lot in this episode, but we still just sort of get him being protective. But we see Omega, you know, she's excited to go exploring and stuff like that, and she holds her own up against the beast fights. She's not cowering. It does make me worry that they're setting that up for something, though, that something's going to happen.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like because he's always sort of hovering around her, worried that something's going to happen to her. I'm like, oh, is it finally going to sort of like his paranoia going to come to fruition and something, you know, drastic's going to happen to Omega? I don't know. I'm trying not to read too much into that.
Yeah, well, they did play on that a little bit in terms of having to rescue her last season. She was briefly out of their safety and security.
Yeah. I feel like, if anything, this was more of a setup to let us know more about Fee's character. You know, her being being new introduction.
I don't know if she's going to be central or just a good for side quests.
Yeah, she certainly knows, you know, lore and the galaxy. And I was relieved that she mentioned that she has her droid sort of backed up on her ship. Because, oh my gosh, poor little droids, they do seem to have a hard time of it in Star Wars sometimes. I was worried when he was walking very slowly trying to make his way away from the... I don't know, I'll have to like look online and see if the big sort of...
Big neck.
Yeah, it has like a defined name, whether it's just sort of like a mysterious found object.
Yeah, the name of the planet didn't ring any bells, and they didn't really give any. Yeah,
it didn't seem to. It reminded me of Ziost in this game. There didn't seem to be much
in terms of being a
life,
planet, yeah.
But there was just that one creature in the tunnels that was sort of going after them. We don't know if it was sort of supposed to be a guardian of sorts, or just happened to have had built tunnels near this thing, and was just sort of being interrupted by the intruders. I thought the puzzles were kind of fun, and sort of in world felt sort of very sort of like, I don't know, like, you know, the sort of ancient temples that we sort of see in movies and things like that. And solving it wasn't, you know, too fantastical. You know, sometimes you see people just randomly solve crazy, complicated puzzles, and they just like magically figure it out. And I don't know if the Heart of the Mountain had any sort of specific worth just beyond it just being a rare thing.
Yeah,
I don't know whether that was like a significant loss for them to not be able to.
She talked about it having a lot of
it.
value, but I'm not sure how that could actually be established. I mean, it's ancient, well, pre-existing, predating the Republic. Yeah, all the information about it was handed down by word of mouth, by the sound of things, and it became the thing of legend. So I'm not really sure what intrinsic value it might have, other than being ancient and related to ancient technology. So I'm not quite sure how she knew that it had an intrinsic value.
Yeah.
She knew that someone was specifically interested in that sort of thing.
Or whether she knew it unlocked like sort of a deadly, like sometimes they're like, we've seen that sort of before where people are like, oh, this great treasure, and it turns out to be, something that would give that. It's not treasure like gold. It's treasure as in, a very important source of power, like a big weapon, or in that case a droid that just seems intent on. We don't know whether that was basically what wiped out vegetation planet, or whatever on that planet. I don't know if it just or
it's a leftover war machine from a
yeah, that's just sort of been hidden away in case it was useful or somebody wanted it. But yes, it seems to have been disabled now. So I don't think that was a cool design though. Don't know that mech specifically has any sort of importance or use. But we're seeing that despite their skills, the Bad Batch haven't been good at finding treasure.
It was the sort of episode that by the end of it, you're just back where you started. They hadn't acquired anything, they hadn't achieved anything that really. There's some of these yellow guys we need to take on, don't we?
We've got a recover artifact crates. There's another one behind us somewhere. I'm gonna get this one here. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of running around with my map on because it's just a little bit easier in this new territory.
Yeah. Cody's still out there. I really want to get back to that storyline.
Yeah. And again, no, like we couldn't have included Crosshair in this one, but
I don't know where they're going to go with that. The longer they leave it, the harder his redemption is going to be.
Crosshair. Yeah, I really don't know which sort of flip of the coin they're going to go with that one. I know a villain is interesting if there's got this sort of this conflict, of being, literally their brother. Tineback, Mirror, and Dewbacks. So we're going to find Tinebacks, which are these little ones.
Yep. There's some red ones just over the corner.
Yeah.
We have to get something from them.
Oh. That was a Dicko as well. Dewback stakes, we need to go.
I haven't got all of the Tinebacks.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just over here.
Yep.
So we'll get slightly different hit rates for those.
Yep.
Oh, I was just on the verge of saying something.
About Crosshair?
Possibly. My brain might have jumped ahead to thinking about the lack of action figures so far, the lack of product in my opinion.
Do you need more?
I'll
just kill some mobs anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, it is interesting that we haven't had much in the way of merch for the season of Bad Batch yet. They've given them all new outfits. So, they could be a whole new line of pops and Black Series and 4-inch, and it almost seems invented for I know it's a good way to sort of show the passage of time, you know, like they often, like in Rebels, as the likes of Sabine and Ezra got older, you know, they changed their outfits, so it sort of tied in with the fact that, you know, people wouldn't be spending years wearing the same outfit. It starts becoming a little unbelievable. But at the same time, I guess it feels like a obvious ploy to create more merch. I think the dewbacks are maybe down the other path. I'm not sure where they are.
Yeah, we'll give it a bit of a wander. David agrees with you in chat there about the
the droid.
The barrel droid.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes Star Wars can be a bit brutal for droids and animals. They often don't get the best fate. So I was at least relieved that it wasn't too brutal and just sort of annihilating him in the blast. Sort of atom bomb style. We're gonna at least see him again in reincarnated form. Sort of. But I'm hoping that we get like perhaps another adventure with her to sort of lead on. You know, like they went on one adventure, didn't find what they wanted, so they're gonna, you know, go try somewhere else because she seems keen for treasure, and she's obviously seen that this is a pretty.
She implied that she wants things split 50-50, i.e. she gets 50% and the rest of them get.
Yeah, 50% split between the whole Bad Batch.
Yeah. Which is certainly in their favour, so yeah, I can see the motivation for allying.
Oh, I've just looped around.
Yeah, this is.
It's just a back way. Okay, so the dewbacks aren't here. Okay, we'll have to keep doing that one later. Actually, I'm just going to go this way and go. Actually, no, that's going to be a dead end. I'm going to go up and around this way.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she's motivated by, I guess, money or I don't know. I don't know if she's interested in reputation at this point. Oh, there's dewbacks right here. Oh dear, didn't see them. But there's going to be a reason why they sort of went on an adventure and failed. She's gonna call on their expertise again, I think. Can you see any other dewbacks in this area?
There should be in reasonable proximity. The issues listed. I've got 2 out of 5.
Yeah, same here. Oh, well, we'll go up here.
Yep, we're in an open area, so yeah, I've got a few other people taking.
How does? Where's that path? Is it actually? Oh, it is down there. I didn't see that. Can I get? Is this gonna be silly? Okay, no, I can do that. Jump down the waterfall. It works.
Did you? Okay, just keep going down.
Yep. Yeah, it was a fun episode. I just sort of don't find that there was like, I don't know, anything terribly complicated about it. Sometimes you hit episodes and it leaves you with like lots of questions and you're like, oh, I wonder what this is going to do, and it sort of opens a can of worms, as they say. This one was kind of a little bit more self-contained, an adventure that didn't quite work out.
It's not only that, like I say, at the end of it, they're pretty much back where they started. They didn't advance in any way. And like I said, it kind of felt to me in some ways like a dungeon crawl where you've got traps and monsters and random encounters like that, and
puzzles
a lot
to
of
solve.
A lot of that flavor is just for the sake of burning the seconds and minutes, which is fine. As I say, it did remind me of things like Splinter of the Mind's Eye, where you're just reading about Star Wars characters, and historically, I absolutely loved that. Because it was just an expansion of the Star Wars universe, even though it was in a fairly narrow field of view. It wasn't didn't contribute a lot to world building or anything complex. But
found all the dewbacks.
These dewbacks, yeah.
The red one up here is the one that we have to.
Oh, we got to get
Actually,
a gold on the
yeah.
chat. Yeah.
I'll do these ones just in case I need these ones as well. I brought over lots.
Oh.
Oh, grumpy dewbacks. Yeah, I like Indiana Jones. I like the flavor that that one had. I think it was nice not to have like a terribly dark or depressing episode. Because I get the feeling we're gonna end up with a bit of sadness coming up. Oh, you've still got to get some steaks.
4 out of 5 dewbacks. Yeah.
Dewback steaks. Something. Okay, there's more over here.
Oh wait, no,
got it?
I got the last one. Yep.
Cool.
We've got to drop that off somewhere.
Daily proving our strength. Yeah, let's go up and across the bridge. We'll go do the other proving our strength. This is quite a big map. I was when they said that they were gonna go like when they landed there and it all looked dead and they were sort of like, okay, we're gonna like find some ancient thing, and they started to like, and they're like, oh, this is old. I was curious if they were gonna make it like tie into Sith and Jedi somehow.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I don't know whether I wanted it to be tied, because I know that not everything ancient is tied to, you know, Jedi and Sith. And I guess it's kind of interesting that they have tried to sort of avoid Force users so much in this show.
Yep.
It's an interesting sort of distinction from other ones. You know, obviously Clone Wars wasn't necessarily about the Jedi, but they featured so prominently in that. Sort of feels like perhaps it's a very deliberate...
Yeah, because even Rebels really trended strongly in that direction, and I often find, you know, this game is a key example. People like either, you know, soldiers with armor and blasters, or bounty hunters, or smugglers, or whatever, or they like Jedi. I'm sure you can like both, but people often have a preference for one over the other. So I think it's good if they don't blur the lines, or if you don't start, you know, in terms of media, if it's clear that which one of those sort of directions you're heading in.
Mm-hmm.
This is oops. Checking out the maps here.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the new map overlay that's came with the most recent update in this game.
Yes, I'm utilizing it pretty heavily in this area.
Historically, I'd drop the transparency on the map overlay so you could actually run around. Now you don't need to, because they've sort of made it a little bit more efficient in terms of screen real estate.
Yeah.
Let's clear these guys out before we take down that banner.
Yeah.
And David in chat. Yep, Wanda Sykes is a fun addition. She's got a good voice for that characterization, and yeah, it's quite a few more of those specific guys we've got to take out here. All right.
I guess I'm just really looking forward to seeing when, I guess the main plot line of the series is going to start.
Yeah.
We know that the Imperials are still out there. We know that there's an Imperial that's basically trying to keep the fact that they're still alive.
Yeah, I wonder what
under
form that's going to
wraps.
take, whether it's going to be uh, more interaction with Rampart, or whether they're actually going to cross paths with Cody. I think I prefer the latter as a starting point.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go down the left tunnel from here?
Yep, we don't.
The bottom, like, green. We're going to fight a few mobs to get there, but I think we still got to...
We do for the one of the bonuses. Those
Yeah.
chains with them.
I think the Bad Batch does have potential to last for quite a few seasons. But I think perhaps we're getting more of these types of episodes because they realized they burnt, to slow it down. They burnt through Clone Wars too fast. People love Clone Wars and they kind of, they got through. And I don't think if they went back and just made a whole season of filler, sort of, the random bits and pieces between big stories, I don't think it would work quite as well.
No.
People would be disappointed, but there's only so much they can fit into the pre-established time span. But Bad Batch...
there'll be some point where the Republic becomes a bit more of a memory and the Empire is fully established, and I don't, and clones are just becoming few and far between. So
it becomes really awkward to be running around as a clone. Or at least with the face and voice.
Yeah, so and there'll be no one else for them to interact with if that's where the story, if the story starts going in the direction of helping and finding other clones, at some point that won't make as much sense.
Yeah. So if we get these slightly sort of quieter but fun episodes so that we get more seasons of Bad Batch, then I'm all for that.
So it very much seems like particularly Filoni, they don't like letting go of things that they established. If they craft scenarios and characters, they really don't like letting go of them. That's why we're seeing all the animated stuff to turn up in the live action stuff.
Yeah.
We thought Rebels was over, but no, it's far from over.
Yeah, and I think it also does help. We're going to go back to the excavation site. Help a little bit for the newer generation of Star Wars fans that aren't perhaps quite as familiar with everything. It's just seeing familiar things and seeing how they all connect. Like when you talk to people that aren't as familiar with Star Wars, they're like, oh, who is this and who is that? And if they're connected, then it's just a little easier to grasp, because Star Wars is a pretty big,
you can define people by their relationships to other people and their relationships to patrons or military or whatever.
And it means, because I think, that perhaps even Disney's thinking of the long game. If they make everything connected, then they won't sort of be flinging too far and wide. We're gonna start to enter into we're having sort of the Mando verse, as it were, all the things that are connected in the Mando timeline, with like live action and stuff like that. And we know that at some point we're going to sort of start to hit some of the multimedia that's going to tie into the High Republic era, and I think we're going to start to see them tap into that should it prove to be successful. Because they started with books, I think, as maybe just sort of testing the water to see if there was demand for it. And then, I don't know that Bad Batch is necessarily the tail end of the sort of the in between the prequel and the original trilogy. I think that's always going to be an area that's going to tap into just a lot of because it connects a lot of era of fandom. With sort of people that are really fond of the prequels, people that are sort of, diehard original trilogy. Anything where there are classic stormtroopers in the mix, I think, is always going to be a good place for storytelling.
It's really become an area that's just right for storytelling. The whole Clone Wars era bridge.
Yeah, we've got Andor there in the mix as well.
More so than the sequel era in some ways.
Yeah. There's so many threads that all sort of tie into this period of time where the prequels and the original trilogy sort of meet and overlap.
You can just keep picking at it without having to invent new stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to reinvent. You don't need a new major adversary. You can have minor adversaries, but it's all pre-established. You don't really need to get too complex. And so yeah, there's a little bit less risk there in some ways. But just jumping back to what I was saying before, I've no doubt that Disney is thinking well beyond 10 years in terms of, bringing on board new Star Wars fans. They need this to be, almost Mickey Mouse level recognition.
Yeah.
For some of the characters and for the franchise.
Yeah, well, we certainly see that with the likes of Grogu, isn't it? They're really sort of setting up this to be a well-known, because there would have been a ton of people that never would have paid too much attention to Star Wars. They know it's big, they know it's popular, but they sort of relegate it to, just that sort of corner of fandom.
Particularly as it sort of became a 10-year-old movie, a 20-year-old movie, without any hint that it was going to turn into something bigger. It's much easier to forget and relegate it to history.
But yeah, the popularity of Grogu, and what was one of the very first things that Disney did for Disney Plus, it's just...
Oh, yeah, the opening episode just soon after Disney Plus went live.
Yeah.
It was just... It feels like ages ago, but it wasn't really even that long ago.
Yeah. I think that was very, very fortunate for Star Wars fans that something like that did so well under the Star Wars banner. It could have been a Marvel show that blew up the internet. Oh, I see a purple beam. What is that? Oh, it's going to be a deco I can't use yet. Oh, no, I can. Cool. What does that look like? Nope, not that one. Oh, okay, it's little plants. Cool. And I got a barrel. One of my other decos.
Yeah, okay.
Got a couple that I can't use yet because I'm not the right rep. So those two I could. That was good.
Kind of funny just thinking back to that first episode of The Mandalorian.
And we had no idea what was in store for us.
Oh, but I remember watching it and then watching it again straight away, and it was so freaking awesome that we managed to get Disney Plus without a delay down here in New Zealand like that, without a major delay.
Yeah.
I just sort of this realization that this was the world we lived in now. We were going to see live action Star Wars on a frequent basis.
Yeah. I mean, we're counting down the days, the weeks until we get more Mandalorian.
Yep. So that's March.
Felt like a while.
First week of March for the actual date.
So what are we? Sabotaging mining equipment. Okay.
Yep. That's that what it means. Okay, just the one off. Steel equipment over here. There's some boxes.
Mm-hmm. So we've got to go in that tunnel.
I think we get these dewbacks with all that gear.
Packs, yeah. That'd be a cool deco.
Yes.
Because a lot of the dewbacks that you can get in the game have just got like the saddles.
Yeah, all the ones
they're kind of like empty.
Yeah, well, that's all we can use for decorations at the moment in your stronghold is things that are mounts.
Yeah.
Dewbacks, an actual beast of burden dewback would be kind of fun. I like cool. I'm saying a little bit inefficiently here. I'm running out of resources. Got to get my rotation back on track.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, when we do these live streams, I'm just like not really paying too much attention. Yeah. I'm just kind of just on like auto mode. I'm just like click, 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 while I'm just sort of thinking back. David says, I think us older generation fans are more invested in the whole Star Wars saga. Not saying the new fans don't love but we have been in this fight since we were young. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, it's bigger than just a movie franchise for many of us, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's such a
Been
core
with us
part
since
of our
just
lives.
been with us as long as we can know. I mean, I can remember life before Star Wars. You know, I remember having some Batman toys and such like, but not a lot.
Yeah, we often talk about like how much of our day, our sort of day-to-day life in general is related to Star Wars, or just flat out is Star Wars in some component. You know, the games we play, the websites we visit, the things that we spend money on. It's just so much of it is related to Star Wars. And even in those years where we didn't think we'd ever see new Star Wars, every now and again they'd be like, oh look, there's going to be a new book, or a few years between video games and things like that. And now it's coming to us. It is a little bit odd. I guess you have to put it down to supply chain issues, why we're not getting like merchandise for these new shows quite as fast as I would have thought. We've just been talking about how the Obi-Wan Kenobi pops sort of came out after the show, and how the hype sort of ebbs and flows for new shows and things like that, and the fact that some of the Obi-Wan merchandise is now being turning up on clearance because sort of the hype.
I'm surprised to feel it even myself that you're a little less inclined to buy material off cycle, buy products off cycle. Still want all the Obi-Wan stuff and all the Andor stuff, but
your heart is excited for the new content.
And that's in front of you, yeah.
And I guess there's always that part of like, oh, I've seen that show, but what if I like the new show a bit better? I'll want the merch from that, and I might need to, not all of us can afford all of the merch. So you're like, oh, I won't buy that because something cooler might turn up, and I'll want that more.
That's the first
still got crates. Yeah, that's the only. I'm just going to go back because the crates will refresh in these tunnels.
I think we did find it easier to just
run around and start from the start. Yeah, because I can see 2 crates from here. Because, I'm expecting, like, they know Mandalorian is just such good business for Disney. I just can't even imagine what's in store for us in the new season and all the new characters and things that we'll get to see, and merch ties into that. And to be honest, the merchandise for Obi-Wan was just people. That was all that was sort of came out in the merch line. It's just people.
Yeah.
And then of course one of the first interesting ones to come out, Ned B in Black Series, is in their new basically blind packaging where you can't see them and it's less interesting.
That's we've talked about that a lot on podcasts, and the impact that's possibly going to have, given that it's coinciding with this uptick in toy pricing. David's just recounting his earliest Star Wars memory in chat. At the time, it was 6-inch R2-D2 out of cardboard and a pantyhose lid in 1978. That sounds cool.
Yeah, he says blind packets suck. Yeah. Because it really, I guess, ruins the excitement about seeing the toys and getting a sense, because some people are very picky about the sculpts, as there should be, and they're like, I don't necessarily need that one, or maybe I'll wait until I get it on sale.
Well,
or sometimes there's just like...
The high-end products can get away with the hot toys and even the Black Series helmets.
Yeah, because you know that the paint job is going to be good. Yeah.
We've spent decades knowing what we're getting. We get decades just loving this concept of either window boxes or bubble carded bubble figures. It's just so ingrained in the Star Wars collecting mindset.
Yeah. Do you want to... I don't even know where that scan is. We've got one of the Do you want to do the quick travel for weak links? See where that takes us.
Yeah, sure. So it might be helpful, but we'll see. Yeah, it's weird that we put. Oh, is this the one where there's spread out over multiple tunnels?
Okay, it took us here.
Does that help?
Don't know.
Weak links.
Yeah, all of the tunnels just point to weak links. What does the taxi take us to? This might be as much as we can do in a reasonable manner. Let's just go straight down.
Yeah, on the map. Yeah.
I'll just go straight down and see where we go.
We do need to drop some stuff off back at the Lauren base effectively. That will knock a few things off, and we might even get some daily missions.
Yes, when one particular daily is spread across multiple maps, that's where it starts getting complicated. The one on Onderon is not too bad. The one where you go and like set the little traps in the tunnels and things. I don't find that one too annoying, because you sort of do it as part of your sort of circular route. But
they've only just started this area. They're going to keep the story going. Particularly looking forward to more of the story on this planet because it seems to revolve around the basilisk war mounts that originated in the comics. David in chat, the last Falcon Micro still my favorite open and play of recent years. Really, look, we're hoping we get wave 2 of the Micro Galaxy Squadron in New Zealand. As I said, I think last stream or the one prior, really looking forward to the Marauder shuttle. We don't have a representation of that in our collection yet.
Yeah.
In any scale.
The only thing I can boast is that I have it in an app game.
Yeah. The Americans have had second wave of MGS for a while now, but I just saw UK bemoaning the fact that they don't have it. It doesn't really sound like anyone outside North America or perhaps in America getting wave 2 of the MGS. Which is sad. I didn't know exactly when it hit shelves in America relative to when we saw it in New Zealand the first time around. So
I get the feeling
to expect.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating. It feels like we should have it by now because Americans have been talking about it for quite a while.
Yeah, especially since these toys are made in China, and we know that shipping isn't that. It's generally faster for them to just ship it straight here as opposed to it's not bouncing through America and then here again.
And I almost, based on what we're seeing in some of the toy stores, get the feeling that there's been restocks of wave 1.
Yes.
Which means more coming into the country.
Or coming out of back rooms, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the delay and the fact that the stores were quite depleted before we saw it. I could be wrong, but it kind of implies to me that more's coming to the country.
Yeah. I mean, it's sold pretty well. I mean, most of the big vehicles are gone. You got to really hunt to try and find a Falcon these days.
There's only a couple of big ones. The Genevieve Starfighter, Sarge's Starfighter, and
because I don't think as quite as many people know or recognize that one.
There seem to be quite a few of them on the shelves, and the troop transport. Unfortunately, one of my faves.
Yeah.
The Imperial troop transport, which I've love because it's
in the Mandalorian.
A reincarnation from
that kind of vehicle shape.
Yep.
Is
I don't know. It's just a little. That might have been just numerically because it came in solid cases.
Yeah.
I think.
And he says Luthen's ship is a must-have. Yeah.
Sure.
This is a really cool ship.
That's a nice new one. Yeah. Out of everything in the I'll stop throwing me around.
Yeah.
Out of everything I've seen in the new live action series, that's kind of pretty high on my list to see merchandised.
Yeah, there weren't too many new vehicles in like Starship scale because we're dealing in the sort of Empire realm. So do we go? Oops, nope.
I'll pick up these guys. I think we found we couldn't run past them last time. Of course, there is the Cantwell class Star Destroyers.
Yes. Yes, they would be very cool.
From Andor.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wish we had more of the Marauder shuttle, more vehicles. Hasbro is not, they've not really touched vehicles often.
Not in recent times, not like the old days.
David says, got the Lego Yoda's cave for my daughter, it displays well. That's definitely on our wish list, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fun. Is that the one with the, you just get one wing of Luke's X-Wing sticking out of the bog?
I like those new scenes. I hope they do more of them. Definitely hoping to pick those ones up ourselves before they disappear completely.
Speaking of Lego, just as a random diversion, it's weird how the Brickheads started having a fairly wide distribution, but that's just gone to a couple of stores, and the Lego store in Newmarket in particular.
And the website.
Yeah, because I want the latest one, which is we picked up Lego Ahsoka, which we thought was just a Lego store exclusive, but it turns out that's just a pattern they're following now.
Yeah.
The Tusken Raider, Ged's Tusken Raider is very cool.
And there was also a Kenobi Invader one. Yeah, which is quite good. I thought we might have seen sort of like a rush of new merchandise on the shelves after sort of the Boxing Day sales had wrapped up. You know, that stores they want to clear out old stock that didn't sell over Christmas before they start putting new stock out. But we haven't really seen quite as much of a rush. Perhaps it is just actually, you know, slow to get here.
Maybe, or maybe straight up everyone and/or just didn't get the merchandise in. Maybe we'll see a return to previous levels with
Mando. Maybe they knew that Mando was going to be where the merchandise dollars are, so they didn't want to flood the market with too much, you know, so people just get burnt out.
Or in terms of both flooding the market and using up development resources.
Yeah.
I think, at Hasbro and so forth.
Yeah, because you know we're going to see a ton more Baby Yoda merch.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing over here. Did you grab it?
Nope. Oh, yes, there, sorry. Yes, I see it now. I don't know where that other data pad is. That's going to take us a very long way to find it that way. I'm just going to run back through and go out the other path. Data pads should be closer together.
Oh, yeah.
That would help.
I use the press tab and this spread apart now.
Oh well, gives me something to wander around and do while I think about Bad Batch and the Star Wars things I'm excited for.
Well, still holding out for some Star Wars guests that are upcoming Armageddon. We're just starting to hear about Terran Armageddon, which is the next one in line. Doesn't look like we're going to see anyone Star Wars affiliated for that one, even though there's some cool big names associated with it. But 6 Armageddon events this year, so maybe some Star Wars goodness, celebrities showing up at the convention in New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm still hoping for Michelle Ang and Tumuera. But perhaps they are going to save those for a big Auckland event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps it would be easier for Michelle to talk about Bad Batch after this season has finished airing.
Which is true.
But yeah, there's definitely scope for it now that we can get international guests again. Welcome, first time chatter, Red Grim. They say, I got a Grogu chia pet.
Oh, no, I've just seen those online.
They're quite cute, aren't they?
Hope it's growing well.
We've got quite a few Grogu things around the house. Don't know if I can name a favorite.
We don't have a chair pet, but we do have some pot plants in Star Wars themed pots.
Yes, yes. Oh, is this just creative unusual tech? Okay, that doesn't do anything. Okay. that was a tease.
What is your favorite Grogu collectible? Because there's a few.
Some of those little like there's a few Funkos. I really want the Grogu with the Rancor Funko Pop.
Oh yeah,
it's not in my collection, but I want it.
That is the out of Grogu merch that we don't yet have. That is possibly the next one we'll get
from the Book of Boba Fett. I guess I'd have to say the Sideshow sort of life-size statue. It's pretty well done. It looks, but I am quite fond of. I don't have very many of them, but the little cute. I don't even know what they call them. The little Grogu series. They're in like the little small boxes, and they have them in all the little different poses. I think those are pretty cute.
They're done well. Well, they have to weigh 5 of those or something.
Yeah, they've been really pumping them out. They did like a Christmas one, and it's all the way down the bottom. It's up there. Okay, let's just speed it down the bottom and see what this map is going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly got our fair share of all the small things, like all the action figures and T-shirts and...
Yeah. Oh, there's a zillion pops, and we've got a selection of those. We've been a little bit selective in terms because there's just so many of them.
Yeah, it's going to swamp. You'd have like a whole shelf of like just Baby Yoda pops.
They don't feel that different.
No, slightly different poses or...
Have everybody the opportunity to get the ones they wanted, but I'm not sure if it's the best strategy. I think there's a few left over, but I think if I remember correctly, it was actually a little bit of time before we started getting Baby Yoda in action figure.
Oh yes. It was one of those ones where everyone was like, did they just not want it leaking out at all? So they didn't even let sort of production companies know, like, get any preview images, or they simply just underestimated how popular he would be and the just intense demand for merch straight away, because it felt like there wasn't that much out there, and it sort of like even after he was revealed and it kind of broke the internet, there was still a lag. I can't remember where I am now for this area.
There's a definite crest over here. It's a heroic 4. We could probably do that by the time we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I've got a mind blank on the company that actually produced that one-to-one Grogu.
The other one.
No, the one we got.
Oh, Sideshow. Yeah, I think it is Sideshow, but it's from basically the company that makes it is the one on set.
That's what I was trying to think. They partnered basically with the prop makers.
So it's got the same molds and all that kind of stuff.
Because that's a nicely done product. What's in that circle? What's in the works?
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they've got in store for Grogu in this upcoming season of Mandalorian. We can see him in the trailer. It looks like he's using the Force a little bit more confidently.
I wonder if he's ever going to get a costume change.
Yeah, well, he's certainly... Oh, there's something else back here. What is that? What's in the works? Oh, we've got to scan infrastructure. Somewhere around here. I'll do that. There it is, beside me.
Yep.
I think it's just the one thing in the area. Yep, cool. That work for you? Nah, it's still got a purple. You're gonna have to scan that one as well.
Yeah,
it's just over here. It's this thing over here, somewhere, I think.
Yeah, I missed it.
No, you gotta come back. come back this way.
So yeah,
Sometimes
Grogu's definitely on everything, even on stuff I see coming out. So what's the stuff that came out? They got bath bombs and eye masks. And
yeah, and headbands and things like that.
that's fine. I don't mind. It's clearly selling well.
Oh, the stuff sold out. It's like it was like blink and you miss
Grogu
it.
stuff in our collection, and if there's demand, if people are loving it, then yeah, more power to them.
Because he got his little shirt.
Yep.
Do we need to... Oh, there's something to scan in here.
Yeah. What did we see? Was it a pop that we saw where Din Djarin was holding the little chainmail?
Yes, it's a brand new one from the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah.
Just it shows that they go in New Zealand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
just gonna hit this guy because I don't know if we're supposed to kill him or not.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a name. Figured we'd do it. Oh, that guy on the bridge is healing himself really fast. Okay. Didn't know if that was important, but he's gone now.
Finally got a decoration. I don't think I've had to drop this one yet. Let me check that.
I've had two and... Oh, that was...
That's my first decoration.
I got a purple one at some point, so I've had 3. Drops are a little wonk.
The Duran passed.
Yep. Are you fighting?
I was. They're gone now.
Okay. Just go around the corner.
So yeah, that the Rancor Baby Yoda with the Rancor is good fun. Pop format. I haven't seen it out of the box.
No.
I get the feeling it will look better out of the box. Because it's not the best angle. I think it needs a little bit of an angle for the...
Yeah, it's for
the Rancor. Yeah.
Oh, I'm too far away from this thing.
Yes, just over the edge. I actually got it.
Okay. This should do it for me.
It says analyze scan data. I don't know what we'll do that. Oh no, the mouse droid.
Oh, I'm not doing that. That was a pain. Use the droid maintenance terminal. Yeah, we're gonna go down, I think.
Okay.
And do some stuff here. Because there's some pipes I think we can bust here. No, tried that mouse droid one and it was absolutely insane.
This phase door
isn't
the mouse droid one, so we can do this if you wish.
No, it's just defeating people.
Yeah.
Turn the map off.
Take the dude first.
Which one? Bark?
Yeah. Right.
Remember getting all amped up for this fight and it was not nearly as bad as we thought. Some of these new ones can really hurt. The heroics for the pirate incursion event are nasty. They are not ones that you can two-man comfortably.
Mechanics.
Yeah.
Not damage output, it's just you really got to stick to the mechanics for it.
Yeah, but there are some that just feel like they're just deliberately made to make it hard for 2 people and their companions, that you've got to basically play it with 4 people. That's... David says, "Stop it, you are enabling my spending wants." Yeah, it's definitely hard with to be a Star Wars fan, I wonder if there's people, like a lot of people consider that if you're a big fan, you have to collect. And I know that's not always the case. Not everyone has the means or simply the space, as we've discovered, to just put everything or buy everything that you want. And in New Zealand, it's an expensive thing in New Zealand because
there's parts of the country where it's harder than others as well.
Yes, yeah. We're fortunate in Auckland that we have quite a few malls within reasonable distance of us. So if it's not here, it's someplace like the Feeding Frenzy that was the Kenobi Vader TVC card, you know. It was one of those ones where you had to just keep checking the different stores because you couldn't just assume it was going to be available at your local store. Oh, cool. I am up to friend rank, which is good.
Actually knocked a few things off.
Oh, cool. That means a couple of my other decos I can now use. The plants I can, and a hidden chain bodyguard. That's cool. So I'm just gonna sell some junk. There we go. That cleared a lot out of my bay. Nice. Being able to sell that stuff. Very, very good. Cool. So, analyze scan data is just back from where we were.
Okay.
And we have to destroy Waterworks infrastructure, which was just down from where we were. So we may as well wrap up those two. Are you done in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we just need to go
the looseness are close by. There might be some
down this way. I can see the
I
pipes.
can see
They
pipes.
look clickable. Yeah.
No over the show.
Big ramps.
Makes me dizzy. I don't like the style of
That's what we had to do there. That was easy. Whee! Okay, and if we go out, back up. Oops, I'm stuck on all that post. We've got to go back out because along the corridor there was just at the terminal. We've got to click to analyze. Back out this way. I think.
Got the map open?
No, I'm just reading it.
Fine, okay.
This one. There we go. Red Grim says, I go for props. Yeah, props are definitely an area that we wish that we could buy more of.
Screen use stuff. We've got plenty of 1-to-1 scale stuff.
Yes, screen use props would be an area that we would love to do more. We are very, very fortunate to have one screen use Star Wars prop. But we do enjoy, sort of hobby prop building. And some of the bits and pieces from the likes of, the Hasbro Black Series, Master Replicas. Yeah. So we've got some fan builds of like E11s and I think we go this way. Looks like a dead end, so I'm going to go this way. Yeah, and just some sort of random ones. Like I've got the Jedi training remote from back when Master Replicas was doing Star Wars props and things like that. Sometimes just those little sort of items you can put on a bookshelf just feel very Star Warsy. Red Grim says copies and homemade. Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, prop making's a fun project.
Yeah. Definitely tried our hand at a few different Star Wars props. We have a little bit of a I have a sentimental sort of attachment to my lightsabers, but my Jedi Comlink.
Oh yeah.
That we made together shortly after we met. You helped me. You knew that I really, really wanted to make one, and I was pretty new to prop making. I had made a lightsaber hilt to use with my Jedi costume. We've got to transmit data over here.
Yes, on this map at least.
But you had some bits and pieces, and you helped me build it, and I still have it. It's not that I ever really carried it around with my Jedi costume, but I just wanted all like the extra bits and pieces that would go with a prequel era Jedi costume, and that was like one of the cooler things that I think.
Well,
and you could technically fit it in your pockets or something.
So it's nice to be able to get something very close to screen accurate with that.
Yeah. But yeah, mixed bag of bits of everything plus my 300 plus R2D2s. So you got a collecting focus.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've tried to focus down once or twice. I've certainly got a few R2s out. He's been my favorite for a while as well. But yeah, I've got. I guess there's a point when too many focuses becomes not a focus at all.
Yeah, I had. Oh, data transmission. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, is that one done? Cool.
So we got started on something. We had one.
The maintenance droid terminal is the one I don't like. Weak links, I'm gonna go crazy trying to find where that one random data pad is. And the other heroic 2+ doesn't seem to have a quick travel. It just says defeat the hidden chain commander and his squad, so I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
So I might. And the Blaze of Glory defeat Cuthrall, that's a weekly. I don't know if we did that before. That looks like a world boss.
He is. We can't do that one by ourselves.
Yeah. So I can probably just abandon that one. Yeah. Probably not going to do that one. So we could probably leave those. Hello, Harbinger 1975. Morning all. It's actually evening for us here in New Zealand, but good morning to you.
Yeah, glad to have people from around the globe, other time zones. It's always fun.
Yeah. David says, I really like the weird or unusual character merch, like the Coke bot.
Or astromech collecting, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to... I want to see if I've got a quick travel for... Was it Strongest Links? Is it just one of those ones where it shows up in your mission items? Yeah, I'm going to click it. It's Strongest Links is in my mission items. I'm going to use that quick travel to go to it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's not showing up on the page.
So for those that have just joined, we have been talking about Bad Batch. But
let's just took us back to the base.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I'll take it to the taxi.
But as is usual in the stream, we've been up talking about Star Wars stuff in general.
I clicked on it going, oh, there's something to do there, and I realized it's the maintenance droid one that I don't want to do, so I'm just sailing away.
Okay,
going on a random taxi ride.
Okay, so tell me where you end up so that I can meet you.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm probably going to catch another taxi to go where I actually wanted to go.
Yeah, but I'll put you over there once I know where the destination is.
It's funny, it's an actual taxi. It's not one of the ones that fades to black and just puts you there immediately. I'm actually like speeding over it. I kind of miss it.
Yeah, it's nostalgic.
Okay, I'm at the dilapidated waterworks.
Well, we're talking about props and costume. We were talking about conventions quite a few steps back, but I'm liking the fact that we're going to have this is going to be our biggest year of conventions in New Zealand. Good conventions. Because we had a cancellation or two and a few postponements last year. Last year was lined up to be the biggest, so
yeah,
a good year for costuming in New Zealand. So where'd you end up? Sorry, have you landed?
No, not yet.
Oh.
No, yeah, I'm going to the next place. I think I'm going to. Hang on. I think I'm going to Excavation Overlook. I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay.
I'm still getting my bearings on this map. It's a little bit bigger than I was expecting. Yep. Excavation overlook. Strongest links and weakest links. Okay. Strongest links. We haven't done that one, so I might try and find strongest links. When you turn up here. There you are. Got my cool new speeder with the dice.
You like that one, yeah.
Yeah, I unlocked it for everyone because I think it's cool.
Nice.
It's a nice zippy, colourful one.
So that came in via the
seasons. Yep.
Which are
yep. When you get to the end. Yep. Certainly made use of the half off unlocks that they usually do around the holiday season. Unlocked a bunch of speeders and the Wampa companion I finally unlocked for everyone because I've only got that on one person and it's such a cool companion. He's big, but I decided... You just don't
see him used around, so it's nice having him.
Yeah. Oh, who got that deco? Was that me or you?
It would be you.
Oh, cool. I want you to get more, but they're bound. You can't give them to people. I know.
Yeah, that's fine. In the long run, they'll balance out, I'm sure. There's a phase door over there. Is that what you think we're heading towards?
We headed this way before, but didn't. I was trying to find the sort of marker on the map, which looked like it was on the walkway, but it was way beneath it and not a distance you can jump. I still remember the first time I was like trying to make my way around this map and some guy just like fell from the sky, landed in front of me and died instantly. I was like, ooh, somebody else tried the let's see if I can jump down this cliff face. We'll slide down, you know, 'cause some of those places you can do it if you just get lost and just go, I just shortcut down the cliff. And look, I think he like tried to do it, but it was a little higher than he anticipated, and he just went boomf. I tried to res him, but I think he was just
already.
Yeah, I was going to a mid center or something.
Traveling. Yeah. Speaking of props, we've got a reasonable collection of Star Wars helmets on display from various sources. Quite stoked to get that really good score on the Bo-Katan helmet just the other day, eh?
Yeah, EB Games has a good... Oh, they call it Wacky Wednesday, but it seemed to last for about a week.
It's nearly half price. I know our local pricing in New Zealand is probably more than people play in other countries, but half price is half price, whatever your currency.
Yeah. That was pretty good. The helmets do tend to stick around a bit in New Zealand. I think they're good, but yeah, they certainly are at a slightly higher price point. So yeah, if you can wait it out and get one on sale, then they're pretty good. Especially when you compare the price of some of those wackily priced Black Series and TVC figures floating around. When you think that some of these figures, some of those ones in like the cardboard boxes, like the comic boxes, it's just a cardboard box. It's kind of all fancy and makes it look more collectible, but they're still just a Black Series figure in a cardboard box, and they're selling for like $70, which is kind of wild, really. When, I mean, it didn't feel that long ago that a standard Black Series figure was like $42 at the warehouse, like always.
And you could occasionally get it, for 30, 39 or...
Yeah, when you get the 20% off toys or whatnot, and that would be good. And now we're getting these figures that are sneaking up in price, man. So when you can get a helmet for the... Oh, there was another deco. Who got that one?
Yeah, that was me.
Yay! It feels good to get a whole helmet for, you know, what would equate to what is like a handful of Black Series these days.
We're going to stick at it selectively, but I think the direction that action figure collecting is going to end up putting quite a few off
The price jumps, I don't know if it's just, I don't know,
There's
companies getting
for it.
greedy or just deciding to try and sort of make excuses and go, oh, it's the supply chain issues,
Yeah,
you know.
there's a few different reasons for it, but you just can't expect the collectors to have a budget that's going to keep stretching that far.
Yeah, people will get burnt out, and I find that personally, once like for completionist ones, once you've missed a few, it becomes yeah.
You realize that it's not actually life and death. I mean, rabid collectors, we've got displays in every room of the house, so we'll keep collecting without a doubt. But just as a general principle, I think it's
well, it's certainly a little bit more of a wait and see if it shows up on sale type approach, because a lot of these things do. I mean, we were just talking about the cool, but in our opinion, overpriced Funko Pop Vinyl Bounty Hunter series, where they came with bases so that they could all click together, and you get like the classic Empire Strikes Back Bounty Hunter lineup.
Bounty Hunters and Darth Vader, yeah.
And they're the same sort of standard size single pops, but on a little grey base that connects to the next one. And what are they, like $70?
At least $65.
Which is just unreal. I mean, a standard pop is $27 locally. I know that's higher than sort of the equivalent in the US, and that's fine. We understand that. But charging more than double for just a plain grey base.
Yeah.
So
that was the plan. That was what Funko tried doing, or at least the retailers were stocking Funko, and I guess they had to pass on what they paid for it. But Boba Fett was the first one out of the gate, and you'd think it'd be the most popular, but we noticed pretty early on that he was sticking around. He was sitting on shelves because people just couldn't swallow that price point. So we did, and then slowly but surely, pretty predictably, systematically, pretty fixed periods of time after each release, each of the other started dropping the price, going on sale from different retailers. So we've got all the bounty hunters, and we didn't pay full price for any of those.
Yeah.
Quite stoked with that.
About half price.
Less than half price.
For some of them, yeah.
Less than standard pop pricing for some of them.
Yeah, some of them were less than a standard single pop. And they're cool, and we want them. We just don't want to be like, I don't know, just taken to the cleaner for that sort of, I don't know, cheek. I mean, because pop, they make a lot of product, they've already got a lot of people paying a lot of money directly to them, they didn't need to pull a stunt like that. I think in this day and age, you've got to be very careful you do not burn sort of collector sentiment if they feel like you're taking advantage of them. And people have felt like that for Hasbro for a while, but Hasbro does have a monopoly on a lot of Star Wars merchandise. I know some people talked about, like, when Black Series, there used to be sort of like a couple of others. There was like, was it Mayfix and like a few of the others that were like seen as like good alternatives. They cost more as a start price point, but they were like more detailed or more accurate and stuff like that for the same scale. But the problem is they just don't churn out very many figures at all. They choose sort of mainline characters.
Is someone?
Yeah, he's under the thing.
Oh, there we go. Just come out. Red Grim in chat talking about prop making. I guess just 3D printing.
3D printing is something I'd love to get into at some point.
Props.
I see people crafting some. Oh golly, the last couple of Armageddons we went to, seeing the booths that sell, sort of the 3D printing, where they have like the commercial license to sell the 3D prints. So you get some really cool stuff being made, and we picked up a few bits and pieces, and it's a hobby that I think I'd love to get into at some point. I just know there's a little bit of a expense and learning curve, and generally this Star Wars toys and collecting tends to take more of our time. Is that the last thing I see sitting next in there?
Oh, that'd be good. That would be very useful. That's the last one of those. knock that right off, and that would actually give us the weekly as well.
Yeah.
Have we actually got, I mean, we've got a reasonable selection of 3D printed products in terms of miniatures for tabletop gaming. I don't know if we've got any 3D printed props.
For Star Wars?
Yeah. Just trying to think. Most of what we've got, we've done ourselves, or we've got lots of metal lightsabers that have been milled, machined, and a lot of that's computer controlled milling, but not so much 3D printing just yet.
No. Where does it want me to go? Download excavation site links. Oh, it wants to go down there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna quick travel to excavation overlook. That's gonna quick. That's gonna.
Yep, that's the top of the.
Take us.
Down.
Yeah, a little bit of a close one. No, I was trying to think. We certainly bought sort of trinkets and bits and pieces with 3D printing, but not as much with props.
No, but
certainly got a few things on my wish list.
Yeah, well, the other thing with 3D printing that I find really enticing is diorama pieces and set pieces for action figure displays.
Yeah, the stuff that Hasbro could make easily, but they just don't.
There's there's a couple of fan groups out there doing some fun things in both action figure scales and even in vintage style products, but vehicles, some couple of cool little vehicles, and it's going to be a while if it all we'll get a blurg in 6-inch scale or 3.75-inch scale, but
Redgrim says, I do the tabletop gaming fun to paint.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a few minis for different games, and I'm definitely keen to. I've got some paints. I haven't sat down. I do love painting. Haven't tried painting minis. I'm hoping that it won't be just absolutely atrocious at it, because it's a hobby that I really, really want to do well in. I know these things always take a while to sort of master the skill, but it's something I want to do more of. I love seeing all the, we were just checking out all of the some of the really cool Legion minis at a local game store. That crashed X-Wing one. Honestly, I really want to make a cool diorama out of that and paint it up. It looks really cool. And I know that there's some really cool vehicles in that line, like Luke's Landspeeder and stuff like that. As well as, get into the game as well. But they just are cool collectibles, and obviously collecting is... I can see somebody trying to go down the mountain over there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Collecting is one of my sort of main focuses. So if you can hook me in with the collecting angle, it's gonna be haven't played Star Wars X-Wing yet properly, but I've already have the Naboo N1 Starfighter from the X-Wing game because I really like that vehicle. I'm hoping it shows up
with a view to get into it.
I'm hoping the Naboo Starfighter shows up in the Micro Galaxy Squadron, even if it is Mando's one.
Yeah.
To start with, and then they can do, the classic Naboo yellow and silver paint job. I need more of that vehicle in my collection. I'm always looking for Naboo Starfighter ones, but yeah. So I've got one Legion mini to start off with to try my hand at painting. We'll see how that goes.
That's it. Is that the only Stars one you got? What's the Snow Bunny you got?
Those are from the original card game minis.
Yeah, no, I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch from that range, but from Legion specifically, I only have one so far. Because those original card game minis are pre-painted.
Yeah.
And they're much smaller, I feel. I haven't put them side by side. But I feel like they were on the smaller range of what you could do with miniatures before they just start getting too small to discern detail with. Okay, this is definitely stuff to do in this room. I say that there's a lot of the big box Star Wars board games that I really want to try my hand at.
Stuff.
Yeah. The big sort of sit down and spend a while reading through the rules to figure it all out.
The new Clone Wars one, eh?
Yeah. But then there's the ones like Rebellion and stuff like that.
You'll see that on the shelf.
Yeah. Very, very cool. But one of the, I think it was the Christchurch Armageddon, somebody had a big display of Legion Star Wars minis. It was really cool to see them all together. That was, I think, what inspired me to pick up my first Legion mini at that same event, actually. Seeing them in person, all really nicely painted. I love it when they add like the little grass textures and things like that to the bases of minis. It always looks really cool. I like that. It has such a sort of a customized deluxe feel that you don't get from, you know, just plastic out of the box pre-painted things.
The Shatterpoint game and range will be becoming available in the not too distant future. I see them starting to talk about that. There was a recent live stream where they showed a whole lot of figures from the first box set for that. I think you might end up liking some of that as well. they're on sprues, so they need a little bit of prep work, I think. I don't think you got to test into the base and stuff, but they're unpainted and they come up quite a few figures per box. Wickram had fun with the old card game. Did you get into it? I can't remember, other than collecting the figure.
I had, in my sort of early frantic days of Star Wars collecting, where I was just like buying anything and everything I could get my hands on because there wasn't actually that much around at the time. I did have a lot of the card game cards, but I didn't know very many people in the Star Wars community, and this was like pre-Facebook, you know, in that sort of era. So I had a lot of the cards. I enjoyed, like, you know, the artwork and bits and pieces on them, but I never got as far as learning to play them properly. And then I ran out of space and sold off some of the things that that weren't as high on my sort of list for keeping, and so I sold my card game cards.
There's been a couple of digital app versions, haven't there, that have kind of gone by the wayside.
I loved Force Collection. Well. I played that one for years before they shut it down. I was really sad about that. Unique item limit reached. Okay.
Of those. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so now I guess it's predominantly in the digital app realm for collecting is Topps Card Trader, Star Wars Card Trader, and it's not cards.
That's just straight up collecting.
Yeah, you don't do anything with the cards other than just go, ooh, pretty.
Yeah, stats or battles.
Oh, I remember this room. Okay, we'll do.
Oh yeah.
We'll go up, I think, because we ended up having to come back down for the one. But yeah, my digital collecting focus for Star Wars is all centered around oh, what is it called? Galaxy of Heroes. I play it daily. I'm in a good guild. A good progression guild. Working on our Galactic Heroes, and I can't remember the name of the new the new sort of guild mode that we're currently working on, where it's got like the 3 branches as opposed to like Geonosis or Hoth guild events. It's quite complicated and quite hard. Red Grim said, I worked at a comic shop at the time, so I played a lot. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I always wish that there was a comic shop closer to where I live. So I could not only, like, check it out more often, but, like, yeah, work there. All our local game stores are a drive away. Like, you know, reasonable, but a little too far to visit on a daily basis or anything like that. Did you get a mob downstairs, did you?
Yeah, when I got thrown off the edge.
Oh, that was you going off the edge. I wasn't sure if that was like somebody getting knocked, like
They'll come
you
up,
knocking a mob.
We were going to encounter them anyway.
Yeah. I'll get the ones down at the corner. Man, they're throwing your Nexu around.
What's that?
I saw your. Well, I don't know if it's doing the jump, like where it jumps to you, or they're knocking it.
Okay. Oh yeah, he is a bit mobile.
Is he just flying at you? I thought maybe he was getting knocked, but then I'm like, I know there's like a whoosh when my Lana jumps to me. But I realized I didn't know what it looked like when the Nexu does it. I just assumed that theirs would look the same. I don't know why. It was just like leaping at you. So we're still in combat with this dude. Okay. Okay.
Oh, alright, I'm starting to catch up on decorations, that's good.
Ah, nice. Okay, now I'm gonna go down.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time locally where comic shops were pretty abundant. We've at least got a good few collecting shops around that we can get to. And...
What are you? You're a seeker? Oh.
Sorry.
He's not a guard.
I thought you were lining them up.
No, I was trying to click on him to see what his name was because there were too many nameplates on my screen.
Yeah, and I think we'd probably get a few more comics in our collection if there was a store that we could walk into a little bit more easily.
So we generally wait until it's trade paperback and grab it online.
So yeah, I just used to live from week to week and month to month for various comic releases.
Okay. Oh, there was one in that group. We'll try this mob then. Yeah. Might have one in there. Hey! Oh. Not. We are doing a heroic, eh? Because I'm like, these mobs hurt just a little bit.
Any
just
mob
like,
that,
am I just getting like lazy with my rotation?
Any mob that has a gold and silver is
yeah.
Not for one-on-one.
Nah, because it used to be that you could kind of manage some of the stuff if you just crowd controlled, and then with some of the more recent game sort of updates, most of us don't have crowd controls anymore. Okay. Transmit data grids to allies. Elevated location with a clear path to the sky. Wait, I'm just gonna have a look, see if that... Are you anywhere near a quick travel point? Unconventional methods.
If there's some, was it on this map, or do we have to go
I
somewhere
don't
completely
know.
different?
Where am I on this map?
Yeah, what's out that door up there?
We're gonna have to go. I think we have to go out one of the other tunnels. Hang on. I want the middle one, maintenance tunnel, I think. Oh, they're all called maintenance tunnel. That's not helpful. I'm gonna go up and is someone up? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up and across, I think. Can I get past these guys?
No, no, you won't.
Well, I did until you shot them. Oh well. See if we can get some more decos.
I've already dealt with these guys. They're just we're in an open area, so they're respawning.
Oh, there's a rep token in there somewhere. Oh, I got a person. Hidden chain bodyguard.
Okay.
Sorry. Green deco.
Oh, come on. I should have let him first time.
Did you know you I saw your Nexu fly past me. I was like, where is he going? You should be up here with me. I'm like, oh, it's because you both got knocked. Are you in combat?
Not right now.
This dude, like, rezzed. My girl is fighting somebody that I can't see.
This guy, I can see him.
Ah, okay. Can see them now. Oh, is there a beam? Oh my, oh, thank goodness that one worked, okay. Sometimes I wish the deco drops were like more predictable, like off golds or something. It would incentivize you to like run around and kill all the golds you could find.
Yeah. At least they're reasonably frequent.
Yeah.
We're just done one round of daily areas over a period of a couple of hours and picking a few up.
I wish all the daily areas had decos.
Let's see what we've got up here. Going to look like a way out.
Yeah, I'm going towards the lower on the map. As soon as we do this like a couple of times, I'll properly remember it, but I've gotta... I want to like grind the rep areas and the daily areas so that I learn them, but I've also got like a bunch of characters that need to play through the story to get here as well.
Yeah.
I've got a couple that are falling behind because I kept getting caught up in doing these daily areas.
That
like
is
Manan.
the challenge with having as many characters as you have.
I know. I'm naughty. I should control. Okay, so I've got to go down, it looks like. It's not on the same level as these guys. Why are you getting thrown around?
Yeah. I wasn't as close to the edge that time.
Yeah. I think we do have to go downstairs, but oh.
Not really, let's travel by walking, not
Flying.
getting thrown.
Is there a proper way down? Can we
Where
just
the other
jump?
corner?
Just jump
Yeah,
from here.
across these crates. Yep, running jump.
Oh
Yeah, wait.
yeah. I just jumped. So bypass that big mob. Oh, this is a spicy heroic mob. I think this is one of the ones where I accidentally found my way in here and I didn't realize there were 2 golds in the mix.
Okay.
And 2 golds, that can really start to get dicey. I survived, but I had to like use all my tricks, you know, heroic moment and all that.
Yeah, and it slows things down on the whole. Just particularly when it's guys like this that interrupt.
Yeah. There we go. Much better with the two of us. It was a little bit of a scramble when it was just myself. Okay, so excavation site. Hang on. Just trying to figure this out. Okay, I have no idea where this is going to link to, but let's just go out. Sorry, I didn't realize you'd ran around the corner.
I was just testing. Oops. I wanted to see if jumping over this.
Oh, I did that one of these times and I got stuck. I thought I could, and there's like some tiny little hole. And I got actually like stuck. And slash stuck. I don't know if it worked for me. I can't remember what I did in the end. I think it eventually came right. Oh, another rep token. Because that is, hang on, I just want to see what's out here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if this is close. It's hard to see where it is because I think. No, it's this one where you've got to like come out in the wrong area. So you can't go this way. I don't know how to get. I don't know how to get to the maintenance tunnel.
Yeah, this was a pain.
Excavation site. It's I don't know if I'll ever figure it out. Elevator. Because it's not in here. I don't know how to get to it. We found it last time. It was an absolute mission.
Yeah.
Excavation site. So all of those are probably at the top.
We have to go to excavation overlock.
Quick travel?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we have to go in ventilation shaft. So go to excavation overlock first, and then we go in the ventilation shaft, and then we've got a very specific tunnel path to take.
Okay, which is ventilation shaft. Okay, there. Yeah, I remember this took us a little bit of time last time because it's not the most obvious. Okay, ventilation shaft.
Yep.
Oh, I can use it.
Crowded. And then there's 2 exits to maintenance tunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I keep forgetting how to get to this place. It's very spooky. Try straightforward? Possibly
yeah,
not.
Definitely straight. No, not straightforward,
Nope,
sorry.
it's
It's
hollow
2D.
chasm.
I think it's this way.
The map wants to make me go this way, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it may be, but...
I mean, after a while, you just end up doing these things, and you know them like you can just kind of do it on auto mode. You don't even really think. Like Black Hole and Zerka, we don't even really need to think about what we're doing. Your brain just knows. You've done it so many times. These ones are still very new. Getting a little bit better at Manan. Manan daily area.
I like that.
I feel like
that map's growing on me.
Yeah, feeling like I'm getting my bearings on that one a little better these days. Still not sort of auto mode. And this mob's still here.
Got a few of those yet, so I hope this is the right way.
Well, this maintenance tunnel's just
Yeah.
past us, so we're gonna stick our head out and see if that's the spot.
If it's not, we're in the right area.
Yeah. Ah. I could see it, I just couldn't get out of his area fast enough. Okay, gonna try one of these tunnels. Not this one. Ah, get out of here. Can't fight and see what I'm doing in those tight spaces. Someone knocked my Lana out of the tunnel.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try the next one. I think that one leads through to somewhere. There's like a gate on the end of it. Or is it just... Oh, I think it's just at the end of this path.
Yep.
Because excavation site.
Yeah, that open area right there.
I think it's maybe this area.
That'd be good, because I can always remember that for next time. Didn't feel too bad.
Nope. Oh, we've got to go out one of the tunnels.
That's fine.
Oh, don't you dare knock me.
Nah, I don't think it's survive off that edge.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he knocked me. I was like, gotta get in between him and the wall, so they'll just knock me backwards instead. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be in one of these side tunnels. Okay, let's try this one. Fine. Go down here.
You want us to find
So many mobs in these tunnels.
Yeah, this is the one where if I do my death from above, I end up outside the map.
Yeah. You can get scary high with that move sometimes. Especially indoors, the camera angles really play with you. Okay. Promising? Promising? Yes.
Alright, I'll be... If we can
We're gonna have to go forward and move. We're gonna have to like smush.
Yeah, this guys.
Smush. Yeah, I think because it's a very specific pinpoint on the map. That'll be another round of weeklies done on this. I'll have to check to see where I am. I know I hit friend.
Yes.
Rank.
No, I only just started on whenever the next one here I think is after friend. We're only just started tipping into that, so a little bit to go.
I think it's... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not going to do that droid one because that one's hard. No, I'm just going to abandon that one.
I'll skip the others for
now. Those ones where I'll do it some point, but I've got to have like the mental patience to sit down and do that one because you just do it over and over and over trying to get to the end. And I don't have the mental energy for that right now.
No, now that we've wrapped that up, we might bring the stream to a close for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm probably going to go park in my house.
Had a good chat. We've been wandering on for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
We this, if you joined us later in this stream will be archived for a couple of weeks on Twitch, but we also put it on our YouTube channel, and we'll be getting some other content relating to recent conventions that we went to up on our Villa Varakino YouTube channel as well. If you want to jump on over to that for a bit more content, and we'll be streaming same time next week.
I loaded in with no UI in my house. That's fine. I can log out from here. That's fine.
Yeah.
Get like an interesting wider view of my house on my balcony. Just sit in my spa pool. Fully clothed. There we go. It's a very deep spa pool. Yeah, I guess that's it for us tonight. It was a fun episode of Bad Batch. Not too complicated to talk about, but I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode.
Yeah, very much so.
So I guess we will call it there for tonight. Many thanks to everyone that came along, joined us in chat, or just watched from the background. We'll be doing the same thing next week after next week's episode of Bad Batch. About the same time, we jump on here on our Villa Varakino Twitch stream, and we'll have this stream and others archived on the Villa Varakino YouTube channel, so you can check out our other Star Wars adventures there. As Matt said, we're going to get some videos out of some of the more recent conventions we've been to, and some unboxings coming up.
Yeah, some good stuff actually. We're excited.
Yeah, so thank you all. See you again next time. Have a good week, and may the Force be with you.
Take it easy. See you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.